Welcome. My name is Glenna Thomas. I am the Student Life Coordinator for the Newnham Campus at Seneca College. This is the Perseverance and Persistence Workshop as part of our STRIVE program. Great dreams aren't just visions. They're visions coupled to strategies for making them real. I would like you to take a moment to close your eyes and envision what your life will look like in 1 year from now. 2 years from now? What about 5 years from now? What do you think you'll be doing? Where do you want to be? What do you think you will have achieved? Think about the steps that you have to take in order to reach any of those goals that you just thought about. What will the process be like? Will it be easy? Will you face challenges? How will you handle those challenges in order to reach your end goal? Did any of you envision images that looked like this? You all came to Seneca to study an academic program. Why? What were your educational goals? What goals will your Seneca credential help you to do? Your post-secondary is only one step in your journey. What will it take to get you to this moment? Perseverance, steadfastness in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, the toughness. Or the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape, elasticity. Think of a rubber band. When you take a rubber band and you stretch it and it extends, you pull it as far as you can, and when you let go, it snaps right back to its original shape. That's similar to what resilience is. And grit, the courage and resolve, strength of character. Success isn't always about right and wrong. More often, it's about grit, tenacity, working through the process, not giving up when you don't think that you will not succeed. Statistically, over half of people say that they succeeded in whatever venture they tried, not by being the best in the field, but because they were the last man standing. They persevered. There's a little resiliency quiz for you to do. Once you complete the resiliency quiz, add up all your scores that you've received, and you'll see what your mark is. If you've received an 80 or higher, you're very resilient. A 65 to 80, keep it up. You're well on your way. 50 to 65, slow and steady, you are getting there. A 40 to 50, you may need a little bit of boost to help get you back into the race. And if you received a 40 or an under, come and see us in the Learning Center. We are here to help you succeed. There are 3 elements that are essential to resilience. Resilient people look at challenges. They will look at their failures and mistakes as lessons to be learned from and as opportunities for growth. They don't view them as negative reflection on their abilities or their self-worth. Commitment. This applies to more than just school and work. They commit to relationships, friendships, causes that they care about, their religious or spiritual beliefs, and personal control. Putting your efforts where you can have the most impact helps you to feel empowered and confident. Spending time worrying about uncontrollable events make you feel lost, helpless, and powerless to take action. Attributes of resiliency. Resilient people are positive. They maintain a positive outlook and envision brighter days ahead. They're empathetic. However, they don't waste time worrying about what others think of them, and they maintain healthy relationships. They don't bow to peer pressure. Resilient people never think of themselves as victims. They focus their time and energy on changing the things that they have control over. Leading psychologist Martin Seligman says that how we explain setbacks to ourselves is also important. He talks in terms of optimism and pessimism rather than resilience. However, the effect is essentially the same. This explanatory style is made up of three main elements. Permanence. For instance, you might say, my boss didn't like the work I did on the project, rather than, my boss never likes any work I do. Pervasiveness. For instance, you might say something like, I'm not very good at this, instead of saying, I'm not good at anything. And personalization. For instance, you might say something like, I didn't get the support that I needed in order to finish this project successfully, rather than saying, I messed that project up because I'm not able to do any job at all. Put simply, resilience is the ability to adapt in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress, such as family and relationship problems, health issues, or workplace and financial stressors. It means bouncing back from difficult experiences. We all demonstrate resilience throughout our lives. While some people may be more resilient than others, research has shown that resilience is ordinary, not extraordinary. You do not have to be a superhero to be resilient. Resilience is a learned ability. It involves behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be learned and developed in anyone. If you don't believe that you're very resilient, the good news is that there are ways to continue building on your resilience. Some of the exercises and activities we will be sharing with you today will help you to develop your resilience. And it may make some realize how resilient you already are. Either way, the outcome is more confidence in your ability to bounce back. What is a mindset? Mindset is a series of self-beliefs people hold about themselves. Mindsets determine people's behaviors, outlooks, and mental attitude. Example, believing that you're either intelligent or unintelligent. People have both a growth and fixed mindset in different situations. By knowing about the two mindsets, you can start thinking and reacting in new ways. You can have both a fixed and a growth mindset in different contexts. Your mindset can be changed. We have identified 5 different attitudes that aid in building resiliency. They are curiosity, flexibility, optimism, perseverance, and risk-taking. I would like you to take a minute to think about something that you might have gone through recently, a personal scenario that you can think of. There's no right answer when you do this, and decide maybe how it was that you were able to overcome that little bit of adversity that you had. Was it because you were more curious and that helped you to get through? Maybe it was because you were flexible in how you dealt with the situation. Were you maybe more optimistic? Probably you used perseverance to get through. Or maybe you're a risk taker and that's how you made it through. Developing resilience is a personal journey. People do not all experience the same challenges, nor do they react the same to stressful events. An approach to building resilience that works for one person might not work for another. People use varying strategies to deal with different situations. You can see this if you just ask a friend maybe if they had a difficult situation, what they did to help overcome that, and you might realize that You both had similar situations, but you used optimism to get through, while they might have been more of a risk taker. Resilient skills can be learned, practiced, and mastered. Setbacks are a part of life. Treating them as steps on your way to success will help you to get the most out of these often frustrating but valuable learning experiences. Failure provides us an opportunity to learn through experience. It teaches resilience and allows you to adapt and refine your approach on that road to success. We see it as a three-pronged approach, which includes setting goals, tackling your challenges, and bouncing back. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Zig Ziglar, author. Setting goals. Write down your goals. The simple act of writing down your goals will make them more real, and it'll give you something concrete to refer to. When you're creating your goal, you want to make sure that they are SMART goals. SMART. SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, results-oriented, and time-based. Start somewhere. When you're starting to feel defeated, completing short-term goals will give you the experience, confidence, and a sense of accomplishment to allow you to keep continuing on. And make time for your goals. Keep an agenda. Make sure you have a specific time set aside in order for you to help complete work towards your goal. When doing your course load, we say it's best if you refer to something that we call a work back schedule. So if you receive an assignment and you know the assignment is due on a specific date, you would use something like this chart to help you work backwards. So you would have a plan and you would set all the dates that everything needs to be done by, and you would complete each of those things by the due date. This would allow you to complete all the little tasks that need to be done in order to complete the large task. For example, you have a major assignment that might be due in 6 weeks. So therefore, on your work back schedule, you want to have week 1, you'll have a deadline date that you should have decided what your topic is and how you're going to break down that topic. By week 2, maybe you want to just follow up with the teacher, make sure you're on the right track. Week 3, you should start writing drafts. So if you write those due dates, then you know once you complete those little tasks, by week 6, your major project is complete and ready for submission. Tackling challenges. We learn by trial and error, not by trial and rightness. If we did things correctly every time, we would never have to change directions. We would just continue the current course and end up with more of the same. Tackling a problem productively can be difficult, but it gets results and it helps to keep you going. Focus on things that you can control versus those that you can't. Ask yourself, is this your problem? Some problems just don't belong to you. Recognize that if it's not your problem, you don't need to worry about it. Avoid avoidance. Sometimes we like to run away or hide from problems. It seems like a tempting response, but rarely does it solve anything, and sometimes it makes the situation much worse than it was to start with. Keep your eye on the prize. Remind yourself of why you want to accomplish your goal and overcome your problem. Bouncing back. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Bouncing back. Find somebody that you can lean on. Sometimes we need a team of people that can help us to navigate through some of our challenges at the moment. Seek support and encouragement from others. Remember, epic fails mean epic learning experiences. Think about where things went wrong, what you might have been able to do differently. Let it go. You change what you can, but do not dwell on what you cannot control. Be kind to yourself. Make time for self-care, including sleep, exercise, and proper nutrition. Disappointment. The feeling of sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes or expectation. A person, event, or thing that causes disappointment. Setbacks are a part of all stages in life. Treating them as steps on your way to success will help you to get the most out of these often frustrating but valuable learning experiences. Disappointments provides an opportunity to learn through an experience that teaches resilience and allows you to adapt and refine your approach on your road to success. Can you maybe think of a recent situation where you were disappointed by the results of something? Maybe look back at that situation now, re-examine it a little bit, and see if you think a little bit differently about that situation. Maybe how you reacted to it. What could you have done a little bit differently? Disappointment is the precursor to all success and a necessary component of learning. The only way to succeed with tasks, assignments, exams, physical activity, sports, and life in general is through true grit, persistence, and embracing and learning from failure. A growth mindset can be best summed up and understood by the phrase, I can't do that yet. The reason that personal affirmations can work is because our thoughts become our things. They shape our reality and dictate how we view ourselves and the world around us. The more we think a particular thought, the more we believe it, and the more deeply it becomes ingrained in our psyche. Most of us have a feedback loop of thoughts that have been circling around in our heads basically forever. For lots of us, these thoughts sound like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, people don't really like me, I'm never going to have enough money, my dreams are out of reach, etc., etc. We've been thinking the same fearful thoughts for so long that we unconsciously are thinking of them. They've become so ingrained in our minds that we have just started to accept them as facts. But we can use affirmations to disrupt our thought patterns rather than getting dragged down into that same old cycle of fear, loathing, and negativity. We can enact our ability to choose a different thought. Affirmations also help motivate you to take actions on your goals. You can use this chart as a way to help you to create your own personal affirmations. When creating your own affirmations, you want to remember to be in the moment, be positive. Use the most positive terms that you can think of. Be short and sweet. Keep your affirmations short, sweet, and very specific. Believe. Always believe what you are saying is happening. The more you believe, the stronger the affirmation. Repetition. Being repetitive and persistent helps to set these things in your head and in your unconscious being. And make time. You want to set aside a specific time for your affirmation and visualize it so that you can establish a daily routine. When something goes wrong, the brain tries to explain exactly what happened and why. These explanations become a part of our internal script and our beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. Your inner beliefs can either help you to become more resilient or drag you down, and that will fall under the main categories that we discussed earlier: as the 3 Ps: personalization, permanence, and pervasiveness. So remember, personalization, you don't have to believe that the situation is all your fault. Permanence, don't believe that the situation will last forever. It's not permanent. And pervasiveness, the situation will not affect your whole life. You can flip the script. As I mentioned at the beginning, resiliency is ordinary, not extraordinary. Resilience is a learned ability. It involves behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be learned and developed by anyone. Thank you for joining us today in our Perseverance and Persistence workshop.